Welcome to Layer the Alchemist for a special episode. I just learned of the passing of Jim Steinman at the age of 73. Jim Steinman was a composer, lyricist, producer, and playwright, most famously known in the rock world for conceiving and writing the album Bat Out of Hell, which featured Meatloaf on vocals. I've been meaning to do a video on the Bat Out of Hell album for some time now, so I'm going to be discussing that album, and this video will also be a tribute to Jim Steinman. Bat Out of Hell for me is one of those records that sits in a unique class. It is right up there sales-wise and production and songwriting wise is some of the greatest albums of all time, like Dark Side of the Moon or Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. It sold 40 million copies in the US and 50 million worldwide. And it is one of those albums that for me just captures the essence of 70s FM radio, classic rock, and you still hear a lot of these songs still get heavily played on the radio today. The album is a very unique mixture of sort of Broadway-esque rock, gentle, beautiful ballads, big, bombastic, belting singing from Meatloaf, softer, gentler moments, some spoken word things here and there. The album is produced by Todd Rundgren, and the production on the record is just absolutely fantastic. It's got a super warm feel to it. All the instruments are there. It's still very punchy. It's got a lot of dynamics between the songs. You have big, loud, epic numbers, soft, gentle numbers. The album features all kinds of musicians and background singers on it. Todd Rundgren himself plays guitar and various instruments on it. So it's just a fantastically produced album that still to this day sounds absolutely incredible. The album for me also captures sort of, it has a kind of 50s Americana feel to it at times. And in doing some research for the record, I saw that Jim Steinman credited Bruce Springsteen as not necessarily a musical influence, but sort of an inspiration. And you can sort of hear that a little bit on this record, because there's times where it has sort of a 50s like rock sensibility to some of the songs. So the album was originally, Jim Steinman had an idea for this futuristic Peter Pan type of musical that he was going to call Neverland. And he met Meatloaf, he had a couple songs, they decided to go, okay, let's put all this together. They go put it together, and they couldn't get any record companies to sign them and to back them. Which is incredible to think of today. Eventually somebody picked it up, obviously, but being that, again, it sits in that rare diamond sales category, you know, right up there with Michael Jackson's Thriller. So when the album comes out, and it is, again, it's just one of those albums that when you think of classic rock, this is one of those records that for me always comes to mind. Starts with the song Bat Out of Hell, which is almost like a Broadway overture, or not really an overture, but like the first song in a show. It just kind of comes out. You kind of got some different themes in it that reappear later. It's big, it's bombastic. Meatloaf sounds incredible on this record. He's like the perfect guy for this. He has like a Broadway-like voice where he's a tenor, and he can do that big, belty kind of stuff way up high in his range, and he really shows that off in this one, and this one just kind of comes roaring out of the gates, just absolutely awesome. The next song, You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth. This is one of those ones that for me has a real sort of 50s rock feel to it. You know, there's a part in the song where there's just like the hand claps. You took the words right out of my mouth. that part. So, and I love at the beginning of this, there's a spoken word part between Meatloaf, and I'm not 100% sure who the female vocalist is. Ellen Fury, who she sings a bunch of leads on here, so I'm guessing that this is her that's doing this back and forth with Meatloaf at the beginning. And I read that Jim Steinman, this was originally meant to be like two people giving their wedding vows, like that kind of vibe. And you hear Meatloaf say, "On a hot summer night, would you offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses?" And she goes, "Yes," and he repeats some other things. And then he says it again, "Would you offer your throat to the wolf with the red roses?" And then he goes, "I bet you say that to all the boys." And the way he says that line is just great. Next song is Heaven Can Wait, and this is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful ballad, and this shows Jim Steinman's incredible writing. His lyric writing is just absolutely fantastic. Like, with "You took the words right out of my mouth. It must have been when you were kissing me." Just the way he puts his lyrics together, they're just awesome. They're very storytelling like, but it is just super, super catchy. And Heaven Can Wait is just a beautiful, beautiful ballad. This song, for me, I have memories of this song, and that it brings back memories of a certain place and time for me. So it holds sort of a special place. And this is Meatloaf again showing he can do these big bombastic things, but then he's able to pull it back and just be very gentle and very tender, and he just delivers these amazing lyrics so well. And the arrangements on all these songs are just incredible. There's a lot of, if you put headphones on, there's a lot of just different creative things going on. It's instruments sort of coming in and out and everything. It's just fantastic. Next is All Revved Up with No Place to Go. This one has an awesome like sax line in it again, sort of giving you that sort of 50s rock feel. It's got, kind of an upbeat rock and roll vibe to it. Next is another great ballad, and this is an example of what a brilliant lyricist Jim Steinman was. First of all, the piano part in this is beautiful. I love that opening piano part. And the lyrics are just so clever. "I want you, I need you, but there ain't no way I'm ever gonna love you, so don't be mad, 'cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad." I mean, that is just such great lyric writing. And the line about I don't remember exactly what it was. You'll never find Coupe de Ville at the bottom of a Cracker Jack box. Just wow, just absolutely fantastic. And then next is probably the epic of the record, "Paradise by the Dashboard Light." And I'm certain here that this is Ellen Foley on the female vocalist in this one. And this one is it's just big, it's dramatic. It's very Broadway like. It's got all these changing sections. It's gonna be tonight, tonight's tonight, it's gonna be tonight. And there's that whole section in the middle with the baseball game sort of analogy there. He's rounding first base and all that stuff. I mean, that is just awesome writing. And the chorus in this song is just so great. "It was lonely, lonely in the deep dark." That whole spot right there, when that kicks in, I mean, that is some great songwriting right there. And just I can see paradise by the dashboard light. I mean, that is such a great line, and I just love that sort of, teenage romance imagery of that. It's just great. And the whole back and forth thing between Meatloaf and Ellen Foley there, the back and forth thing is just absolutely fantastic. It's so epic. And then the album kind of ends on this sort of quiet note, for crying out loud. It's just this song, really gentle, but it's got all these really nice strings that come in and out of it and sort of lift the song up and move it along. And it just ends the album on this real sort of gentle note. It's kind of like Paradise by the Dashboard Light is sort of the ending for me, and it feels like For Crying Out Loud is sort of the Meatloaf, the main character in this show. It's his last soliloquy here. The light's just on him, and you hear this song, and you can just picture the curtain closing. So, just an amazing album, a great classic rock record. I've got 2 copies of it, as you can see back here. The album cover is absolutely iconic. So a great album, great music, great lyrics by Jim Steinman. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of Bat Out of Hell, this amazing FM radio classic rock record. And like I mentioned earlier, this episode is a tribute to Jim Steinman. So Jim Steinman, rest in peace.